I can't see colors.
You make people cry.
I was like, this is black. This is black as well. This is black.
You don't exist. Drop off the map. Yeah.
No, see, I don't think I'm on the ledge.
No?
I think I'm standing there with a machete, trying to kill people. It's a completely different.
Fiction.
If you are going to make art by writing a prompt, you're not an artist.
Hi everybody. Welcome to another episode of Chronically Online with a host and the better host.
In your dreams,
I live for this.
people are going to love my answers today.
ये first of all, ये जो तुम सोनाली बेंद्रे जैसा you just stand with your hands away with a Madhuri Dixit maybe. How many episodes do I have to expect this to happen?
All of them.
All of them?
Yeah.
You get you some nice bangles. It adds a certain je ne sais quoi to it.
Gold.
Yeah, good.
अभी सोने का खरीद के दो मैं पहनती हूँ.
I'm listening to our Supreme Leader. I'm not buying any gold. It's not cause I'm broke.
You want to get this podcast cancelled, don't you?
But it's not cause I'm broke. It's not
Supreme Leader. Is that what you want to go with?
It's not cause yesterday I bought an avocado and today I had to file for bankruptcy. It's not because of that. It's because I am, patriotic.
No petrol. Okay. We're getting off track here.
As
To our own
always.
doom, I feel like.
As always.
We should not continue this train of thought.
Yeah. But last episode we we announced a very noble endeavor that is to prevent people from becoming
Dictators.
by giving their dead dreams a chance. So in keeping with that spirit, today we're talking another dictator off the ledge. Wait, Kaundinya. In military green, this dictator is so on the edge, and I intend to bring him back. Yeah.
No, see, I don't think I'm on the ledge.
No?
I think I'm standing there with a machete, trying to kill people.
I think
I would have tear gassed an entire country.
I think Tuesdays and Thursdays you basically mock dictator your house.
Yeah.
Your sister is witness to that.
Yeah.
I have a traumatized friend who is witness to that.
It takes me.
You make people cry. Oh my god.
Art is subjective.
This whole episode ka theme is revenge. I will be avenging many people.
Avenge me! What are you revenging?
What am I revenging?
What is this a revenge for?
Several episodes
Tell
ago.
them.
Several episodes ago, under the decoy of, this is a chill episode. We'll just talk whatever. This is just a warm up. He put me in this hot seat and he essentially did like a viva, one of those nightmarish vivas where you walk into a room and it is a lab and you're being quizzed, and that's what he did to me. And I had none of my answers ready, thankfully.
Well, what I believe is like my dad used to say in childhood, like, but if you study, like if they wake you up in middle of the night and rub they give on your cheeks, you should be able to tell the answers.
Okay, rub I'll also give now. Why not? Right? Why only rub should happen one way? This is a two-way rub story.
Yeah, ask me things.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're an artist.
Yeah.
When did you draw last? Someone put tick-tick time bomb around you. When did you draw last?
Was it last December?
That's so much worse than what I was expecting.
Last December. 2 years.
It's been 2 years.
1.5.
Okay, I'm also asking all this because I'm a fan
Yeah.
of your art.
I mean.
Okay, these are I don't get paid to say this. I can't get paid. He has no money either.
Yes.
But
It's a combined endeavor.
it's a combined broke. It's combined broke city. But so you've got a bunch of other talents. Okay, we get to see it, but you have them. So why did you gravitate towards like
Yelling at people.
yelling at people, being a control freak?
Ah, look who's talking. Cooking.
Cooking,
Cleaning.
cleaning. Did we include yelling at people?
Yes, that's the first thing. I lived alone.
Picking trash men.
Nitpicking trash men. And arts.
And arts.
Yeah.
So why did you start drawing, or when did you start drawing?
So I do feel like art is form of an expression. Like what I believe which happened with me my entire life was I listen to something or I see something, I want to either replicate it or make something of it by my own.
Okay.
And a medium for me was a paper and a pencil. For somebody else, it can just be a mic. For somebody else, it can be a video. For somebody else, it can be a dance.
Dancing, singing.
Like it can be choreography, it can be vocals, it can be anything.
Was your household like one of those where if you make a nice drawing, they put it up like on the wall or on the fridge or
Our
something?
walls did not have things which will stick to them. But that would have been the idea.
That would have been the idea.
But then again, like before I left home for college, I did paint something on my house ka wall and it's still there.
What did you paint?
I painted I did that with hands.
Okay.
So I painted a eagle going up, and then there is Krishna and Satyabhama on it. It's the Diwali ka lore. I did that, and it's still there. It's still there in my house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I used to be in love with acrylic paints back then.
I can imagine. That's a nice medium.
Yeah.
I say with 10% knowledge of art, okay?
And then I realized how color, what is it called, confused I am. And then I stopped with colors altogether.
There are other questions coming.
So much confidently once I've painted an entire thing green thinking it was yellow.
Oh. When did you discover you were colorblind?
That's why I don't take commission.
You must have discovered you were colorblind after coming here, because confidently you were telling wrong colors and I was like, you're colorblind, and you didn't know.
See, before moving to this city, I sat down and
What color is this hoodie?
Pakistan green.
No, that's also wrong.
It's not?
It's marsh green. It's military green.
Sorry. I can't see colors.
Colorblind artist. And this is an interview for the
You know
ages.
who else is a colorblind artist?
Kenny Sebastian.
Oh my god. Fucker got married. Shh. Guy got married as a child also.
Listen, this is not your heartbreak podcast, okay? We're going to be here all evening. I have other things to do.
We should become successful enough to bully Kenny into coming here.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
He probably lives around here
No,
somewhere.
he lives in Bombay.
No.
Yeah, all these people left Bangalore.
No. What a tell you. Kannan was spotted in Whitefield somewhere. Some time back, but he was. They're not moving to Bombay. Who's moving to Bombay? That's like a...
You and your sister.
That's like one overfilled vessel.
It's like, let me pour more water into this cup. Oh no.
I think if somebody tries to move to Bombay, they're basically going to overflow and end up falling in Nasik or something like that. That's happening.
Pune, Nashik.
Pune,
It's just
Nashik.
the backwaters.
Yeah. Just fall like one marble. How did you start picking? Because almost all of your art that I've seen is religious iconography, religious symbolism and imagery. Yes. So is it like you started listening to the stories and then that motivated you to draw pictures about it, or is it like you were drawing first and then you had a bunch of other subjects and then you narrowed down on religious symbols?
I would want to say that was the process, but it never was. So since my childhood, I was kind of attached to the iconography, let's say, right? We grew up in a Shaivite household, so wife of Shiva is kind of like the celebrity in our households. And also, this lady goes on people, kills them, etc., etc. It was very fun, okay? For me, as a child, seeing a woman taking control of her life with a knife was very...
And very in keeping with what you intend to do.
It was very, usko kya bolte, it was heartwarming, and it's also like there's the concept of Ishtadevta, right? So I like Devi more. So the media I used to watch or the things I used to listening came when I was 14, 15.
Listening, I meant listening from your parents.
Not as much.
Not as much?
Not as much. That is what, so you see, you like something so much. What is your outlet? It's either like making something with it. My expression was to art it. My expression was to draw it. So for somebody else, it might be something. Now, we've been seeing multiple shows and you've been seeing fandom cultures. People make edits, some people make memes, some people write stories. It's like imitation is the highest form of flattery, right? It goes like that. It goes in the same way. Content for me was religious because growing up, I was pretty religious.
So you're telling me that this is your fan culture?
Yes. And you know what? This fan culture is thousands of years old, so it works.
That's true.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, the other side is that I think you'll also get this part shut down, but it is true. It is true because
It literally is fan culture, right? So in literary processes also, like let's say there is a huge book, you like it so much, but there is an aspect which you felt was unexplored. Then you take that aspect and write a completely different book
about it.
about that one particular aspect, and that's a completely
Fan
different
fiction.
Yeah, fan fiction. It's called a prabandha kavyam in Indian literature.
Fan fiction.
It's basically fan fiction.
Alternative known as fan fiction.
So
yeah.
doing that with art was something else. I don't think as a child I was going to such deeper concepts.
So was this art like your way of showing like devotion?
I think I was too young to understand concepts like devotion or bhakti or something.
Okay.
But it was like, I see it, it is so beautiful, I want to make it. That's all.
All right.
Like beautiful as in, like not just to look beautiful, like the concept of it and how I get attached to it. It was all beautiful. It's like, so I remember making greeting cards for my favorite teacher and making greeting cards for somebody else. And these days also, if I gift something to you or somebody else that I like, what I do is I make cards by hand. Arts and crafts is still how I show my love. So I guess it's a broader and bigger same thing, but with a broader concept, more attachment to something.
Is this essentially this form of creativity is also a love language?
Yeah, it's definitely,
a love language.
And once I start getting older and started to listening to more and more lore and religion and mythology, Puranas and all those things, the stories kind of stick to you.
Okay.
And and I was also listening to these extremely love stories, I started listening to these stories with Parvati Kalyanam first, and then it was the December Puja that I do. So all these things.
What December Puja? You have to tell people. People don't
December,
know.
In December and January, what is this? Tirupavai Falls, which is basically how Andal loved and married Krishna by the end of it.
Okay.
So both of these were love stories only.
Ah.
And they were divinely, like they are God's love stories. So there is, although love story is a major plot, there is so much more to learn around it.
Okay.
So these frames, when I was listening to these stories, I could see the frame. I could visualize the frames.
You could visualize it.
Yeah.
That's effectively what you're putting down.
And what I specifically used to like and still like to do is listen to a lore from somewhere, listen to a lore from somewhere else. Although they are related, but not completely related. So there is a soul of it, right? Let's say the same Spider-Man is there in 3 Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
2 other actors played it. And let's say there is an animated series, something else. End of the day, there is Spider-Man core, which you can know and relate to. That is why you like Spider-Man. So whenever a Spider-Man something comes out, you watch it. Because you like Spider-Man as a character. You build love to the character and not to a particular movie or one particular story.
Yeah.
So that is what happens through it. So the same Parvati Kalyanam is there in like so many books. So there in Kalka Puranam is there, in Shiv Puranam is there. In
same story,
Devi
right?
Puranam. Similar story, I would say. The story is different in different books, but the characters stay the same.
Okay.
Their core stays the same. The what is it called? The journey almost stays the same. Characterization changes, but the characters don't change. Like if you can understand that. So that building the core of it, I love to experiment with different lores and create one statement piece, which I used to do a lot. Which I still do, but it's not that regularly because it's vexing to compile many things.
Yeah.
So I wanted them. So growing up, all I saw was either M.F. Hussein's paintings or the Western paintings or something. Not the oil paintings from Renaissance, but the other paintings, the abstract paintings, to make it clear.
The surrealism ones.
Okay. So when you see abstract paintings, you immediately know that you're supposed to decode it. Like, it's not what it looks like. You're supposed to decode it, and there's a deeper meaning. You have to go deeply into it. So all the pravachanam I was listening to, let's say the literary works of our ancestors, let's say shlokas, stotras, from very 10-line stanzas to thick books.
Okay.
Everything is for you to decode. It's all symbolization. Like it's all symbolism. What happens there is, so they were creating media for you to engage with God particularly.
Okay.
So I started making my art also a medium like that, where you decode, you have fun while decoding it. It feels like you're watching a story.
So you decode it first, and then when you draw it, that painting.
It's a different composition.
Yeah, it's a different composition, and that is something for others to decode.
And have fun with. Why would people just sit and decode like it's homework if it's not visually appealing or if it's not literally appealing or something like that?
I mean, anybody who's trying to get, like, anyone who is passionate about art history, they don't consider it
Yeah.
homework.
Yeah, they don't.
That's the whole thing about being an art nerd. They like the symbolism. They like to decode what it stands
Yeah,
for.
and the fun part about art itself is that you can do a homework somewhere else and completely put that into something else somewhere else.
That's always the case.
And that is kind of amazing. Like you're creating something new, keeping the same character alive and the characterization alive, but you do completely different with it. It's like fan fiction again, but mainly because you want to love and relate to the main material so much that you go and find what else is new. It's almost that.
Yeah. With everything that you told me about art, one would assume that he went on to study art. But I think this is a tendency in India to take somebody's creative pursuit or like creative instinct and then try to put it in the nearest engineering or graduate degree branch category so that they can do that work. In what I mean to ask is that, so you studied architecture.
Yes.
So do you think
Sadly.
architecture took you closer to art in some way, or do you think it took you away from art in a lot of ways?
A colorful anecdote before that. So what really happened was I finished my 12th.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm not doing engineering. Let me apply to something design related. My mama was like, okay, do architecture. He seems artistic enough. That's a fun thing. Then I was like, no, I'll do fashion designing.
Okay.
And by then, my fate, NIFT exam over.
Okay.
NIFT exam apparently used to happen in February. That was done. And no paper leak, nothing. So
You just have to accept it.
I said that exam is gone. I was like, I will wait. I will take my time. I will write the exam next year.
Okay.
And then I go to get vegetables with my father. By the time I come back, my mother is like, will you sit here and stitch like a tailor? No. It's apparently it was my big sister's handiwork. Because she doesn't know what fashion designing meant before.
Okay.
Suddenly she thought that tailing is what it entailed. Tailoring, sorry. So I'm like, okay, suddenly what? You'll stitch on the road or what? No. That is exactly what
So
happened.
basically,
I was robbed of fashion design.
Everybody threw cold water on
Yeah.
your dreams.
On my face, more like.
Why am I not surprised?
I'm-
First of all, like, I understand this is traumatic, but get over it. This is literally the
I
story of
don't think this is traumatic.
1 billion Indians.
I was happy to eat biryani that day, so
So basically, they told you, don't become darzi and fill architecture ka form.
yeah, the jaake putti lagao. That is what. See, coming back to your question.
We respect all jobs, okay? We understand their necessity in this world.
See, I don't think
Very
particularly.
3 idiots of your family to be like, darzi banega, somebody wants to become photographer, passport size photo khichega. The lowest thing they can assume can happen of that job, they assume that you want to do that.
I know the regularly what you keep listening, but I do great art, and people are like, road pe paint karega. That is always what
See,
happens.
This is why you have to life hack like me. I became writer. 2 years later, my parents were like, are you writing? I was like, yes, and I don't want any questions about it.
How old were you though?
Much older, 27.
Yeah, 17-year-old, you would have been smacked.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Coming back to your question. See, architecture is still a professional design course.
Yeah.
So it had its peaks. Our first semester was color theory and, basics of design.
Okay.
Was our first semester. So that definitely really did help with the compositioning, the rule of thirds, golden ratio, color theory.
Helped you.
Really helped.
Okay.
But also at the same time, how did I pass color theory is God. So I could not tell what colors were.
Green is brown.
Green is brown.
Red is brown.
Hey, they've made...
Yellow is brown.
These shoes are brown, right?
No, the shoes are green.
Definitely.
If you think those shoes are brown, what color do you think you are?
They make you mix tints, shades and tones. So basically you mix it with white on one side, you mix it with black on one side, and you mix it with grey on the other side. You make a tea.
Oh, okay.
You believe me, when I was mixing those greys, I was like, this is black. This is black as well. This is black. And I was doing the...
I'm your friend. Daily you are like, is this looking good? I'm like, what color do you think this
I still
is?
passed.
I'm glad.
Yeah. I mean, I did get 2 redos. I understand how or why now.
Okay.
And thank goodness to whoever started putting labels on paint bottles saying this is yellow, this is green. Like people like me. So it gave me the design basics.
But I mean, like, for your soul. Like,
Yeah.
how did no. How did architecture like work out for your soul? Because that I would say that there's a huge difference between drawing things like religious figures about stories that you connect with versus drawing about buildings. Because not once have you mentioned that you were passionate about, well,
Making someone's home, not that much.
yeah.
So going into architecture, my idea was like the first day when someone was asked, I'm like, I'm from Warangal. There's a broken down fort. We have a huge legacy of architecture.
Okay.
I want to go into restoration and conserving
Yeah.
this thing. And that was my go-to. So I was already looking at the sculptures and all that, and I was extremely happy with architecture also. Second semester, that thing was history of temple architecture was an entire semester.
You must have had fun with that.
Yeah, that's all. So it was fun, but also at the same time, for my artistic soul, what it really did was, see, you basically make something and then you try to sell it. That is your entire architecture professional course. 6 months you design something, and then there's a viva or a jury where you try to give this design to your client, which is the faculty.
Oh.
And you're supposed to test out and you get marks accordingly. And
Okay.
the entire 6 months, every other design class, you go step by step into building that house correctly and going back and forth with the design.
Okay.
Like you get your inputs.
So technical, because now I'm wondering, oh my god, isn't this civil engineering? And like,
It is civil engineering if you're thinking about the structure, but if you're getting inputs about, okay, airflow will not happen. There's not the flow of
That's
the air,
an
ventilation
architect's
direction. Yeah, that's
job.
because we're doing the design part of the house, right? We're not focusing on how it's going to stay. We are focusing on what should be built in the first place.
okay.
So because of that, and going back and forth, putting your work there and getting inputs for it and all of that, that kind of created a mental language of how to approach art, how to put it in front of people, and what sort of inputs to get,
Okay.
and where to get attached and where to not get attached.
Okay.
And
Okay,
that
so tell me, in art, where do you get attached? Like, what are the things where if somebody tries to give you input, you're like, I'm putting my foot down, as opposed to things where if you received feedback, although, I mean, you're not surrounded by a lot of artists, so we are not
Yeah.
giving you feedback, but like, where would you be accepting of feedback and where would you be like, no, it's my way or the door is right there?
yeah, because as a person who regularly slides into people's DMs and so this is so beautiful, but the sari you should have had more frills. This is so beautiful, but make the eyes bigger next time. All those things I do on Instagram a lot, and I'm not notorious. I'm kind of like, people like me for
Okay.
that. Do they? Like, they do. Let's not go into that thought a lot. So because of that, what I do is, so when I put my something up to that thing, I am my worst critic. So I already have a huge process as to what am I supposed to make here. I guess that is what helps when you're doing art. You stay in the head zone as to what you are going to
So
make.
concept is all you, that's something that you're gonna...
Concept and how you're going to illustrate as well.
Okay.
Right? So both of those things you need to understand.
Yeah.
And when you do that, and when you're clear as to what you want to put on paper, once you are clear as to what you want to put on paper,
That doesn't answer my question. What would you take feedback on?
that is what you know what you want to execute.
Huh.
And let's say there is someone who's been observing your work for a while, or let's say it's someone who knows more than you. When you put your work there up for feedback, if they are telling something, you agree with it, you disagree with it. My grandfather used to say this thing, sabka sunna apna karna.
Ah.
I believe that, but also at the same time, I really love a good critique.
Ah.
Because if there is something that another person successfully does and I don't, and I'm willing to pick that up,
Yeah.
I would take the feedback very well. But when it comes to conceptual choices and design choices, I'm like, see, if it's a choice, then you have no say.
Yeah.
And that is simple with all arts.
Art is discretion,
Yeah.
right? Ultimately, this is the story
Yeah,
you
because
want to
this
tell.
is what you want to tell. This is you. That you is gone. I guess that is where the films are also failing these days, right? Because
They're
there is no
trying
person who's
to-
doing me.
Yeah. I always like to say that there is a certain arrogance about artists that actually is very important to give a piece of art credibility, because they are like, this is what I set out to make and this is how it is going to look. And whether it's a producer or a director, I'm talking about the directors, producer or an actor or any kind of like industry influence who is like, oh, ye nahi chalegi, they're like, don't tell me whether this will work or not work.
Yeah.
Because
And I don't care if it works or not,
Yeah.
because this is what I want to create.
yeah.
That when that part is eliminated, it gets so mechanical, it gets so repetitive. That's why movies flop.
Because uniqueness of story is going to come from somebody saying that this is exactly how I want to tell it. Otherwise, formulas, everybody knows how a formula is. And that's sad. Yeah.
Because see, knowing a formula is not going to make you create something new, right? Math mein you keep using formula so that you get the same result every single time. That is what a formula means. But when you're getting a formula into a creative space, it kind of ruins it. It kind of ruins the imperfections is what makes something extremely perfect in a creative space.
The humanness of it.
Yeah. And the ups and downs of it, the hierarchy of it, what makes it better.
Yeah. Like even just the journey of like, you know, you're an amateur artist. And I think there are tons of amateur artists who are like, they're not amazing, but like you can tell that they're putting like a ton of effort into it and there are things they really want to say through their art. So it's not like people are they're not going to win any medals anytime soon, but I don't think artists to win medals anyway. Certainly there are successful artists and then there are artists who do it as a hobby, but no one is going to win Olympic gold in arts, which I feel like people don't understand that this is not the way you approach it.
That is the purpose also, right? This might be a very extremely bad hot take, but growing up, people are like, oh my god, MF Hussain should become paintings. I see those paintings, I'm like, hey. Because maybe I did not understand much. Maybe I am not a subtle art person, but if I see a Kerala mural on a wall, I'm like, but if I see a contemporary art, I'm like, not as much. No, maybe that's not my genre. But art has to speak to you. Like someone's art will speak to you in a particular way, one or the other way. So, in one particular way, I feel like once you know what your end goal with your art is, you'll have the clarity as to what you have to do and what you want to do on it.
So you mentioned sliding into artist DMs. And you repost enough art, so I know what you're doing. These are all your threatening compliments.
Yes.
You are so good, I will kill you. You are so good.
I know where you live.
I know where you live.
I don't.
I kill what you love. I know this is what you do on the internet.
Yeah.
The real dehshat. I think again, the whole thing with Instagram and artists on Instagram, and this is something that a lot of other artists have also felt, the pressure to create in accordance with the algorithm's whims, you know, to be able to go viral versus, you know, create for yourself, and essentially Instagram or whatever social media platform, but mainly Instagram, prime offender, deems that it is not good enough to be circulated amongst people and all. And that has really, I think, like crushed a lot of artist spirits and everything, because they do believe they're good enough, and I think they are, but just because you don't film it or photograph it the right way, you don't put enough processes, sometimes it comes down to whether the artist itself is someone that people could really find attractive or something. There's a lot of very myriad factors, whether they come from a Western country versus whether they come from India. All these factors are coming into play to decide basically who ends up. This is a very unstructured space.
Yeah.
The arts, as always, we've said this again and again, the arts are a very unstructured space. Usme then you incorporate the rules of a highly capitalist, very momentary, attention-driven social media app, and everything just gets messy.
Yeah.
So all of that is to ask, do you ever wonder about, is my art ever going to be famous, like Insta famous?
I don't think that is one of my criteria, let's say, for my art to become Insta famous of all things.
Okay.
And this is not something new, okay? Like for now, it's Instagram. Long time ago, it was printing press, maybe. Uske pehle, it was kings who used to
Patronize the arts.
So, like Annamaya itself is like, the king was like, write a song on me.
Yeah.
And he's like, what will I do with you, your money? They're like, the Hazaro Brahmas have come and gone. Their names only we don't remember. You are human bugs, why should I sing about you? Is what he told to the king. And got respected for it. Some people might have been killed also. That history also we have. So, when you're making art, although it is subjective, although you want the recognition, and great, we live in an amazing time where Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, there are multiple social media pages and there are multiple other platforms where you can share your art, get more input and become famous. Although it is there and available. As long as it doesn't fall into your process, as long as it doesn't play with what you want to create.
I understand, but that's also a little easier said than done, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there are any number of, I think artists online who have talked about like burnout because they're like, the algorithm is used to expect you to, like they say, post every day, post twice a day. Why do I know all this?
I have not sketched
I know
something
you
in 2 years.
2 years.
What people are going to maintain their Instagram regularly, keep on sketching on it so that they can do it.
First of all, I don't think a platform like Instagram is ever conducive with anybody who's got any kind of non-functional thing. Like, if you've got a full-time job, for instance, or if you've got depression, for instance, and you're like, I just can't post every day.
Every day.
Instagram is like, oh, you don't exist. Drop off the map.
What is the point? There are 1,000 other people putting the same thing.
Same thing. Or they call it the same thing where, well, it's not.
Although it is not, that is where it is, right? I have so many artist friends of mine who I go fight in the comment sections for because their art has been plagiarized by AI. Their art has been plagiarized by these faceless god pages who just post a picture of a god every day.
Yeah.
And
this is
because
just-
Indians are very religious like that, like let's say you only, let's say I only get on my feed, there's some random beautiful Krishna image I get. I like it. I'll move forward with it. It's not that serious for me. But for an artist who has done that, so you like it because it felt unique to you, right? But that's because someone has gone somewhere, they've searched the scriptures, they've searched the mantra shastras or something, then they have seen a form which is not mainstream anymore and maybe particularly is linked to something else. And to give that information, the person has from scratch sketched out that form. Why would you take that away, remove their time? They've already put watermarks, okay, because people are stealing left, right and center. You remove the watermark using AI, then you morph it into some other stupid thing. Like you change it a little bit so that you don't get the plagiarism fault. And then you post it.
And then
you don't give a credit.
You don't give credit. And it's like you can't blame the normal people for not being able to recognize like this, that this is AI, because it's like we're regular people. This whole skill of being able to detect whether something is AI or no, this problem is only cropped up in the last like 2 years or so. And now everyone, it's like you can't get upset at the people for not knowing that what they like or what they're sharing, it wasn't made by an actual person.
Yeah. See, whatever controversies Raja Ravi Verma was involved in and he was called in front of the court or whatever it is, but so many people who were not allowed into the temples, so many people who did not have the luxury to go to a major temple because it's just not nearby. It's like cities away. So for those people, his paintings were the first time they could see God in humanish form. It was either theatre before that and then it was painting. So you can see it, but theatre you can't take home. But art you can take home because of the print. So we come from that, right? So this artist has revolutionized. I will not say it was only him. Uske pehle
but all
also,
the artists of that era, they revolutionized.
And even before also. But he, like what, Ravi Verma did this one thing, like the Renaissance oil paintings, he made it realistic. He made it look like it was actual human beings. Uske pehle it was all like, let's say, kalamkari mein or other sort of art forms, Patachitra from Odisha. They're not completely human. I would say they're not realistic, but they are human dimensions.
Okay.
It's not like sculpture, this is realistic, but it's also different. It's an artistic liberty you take. Like how you will draw a human being and how I will draw a human being will be different. And sometimes there can be a stylistic choice. So Ravi Verma's paintings were important for people because it was realistic. It was you're looking at the god personified.
Yeah.
But even then he had to go through so much scrutiny for a lot of other things.
Yeah.
He was not painting it because someone commissioned it. He was not painting it for an algorithm.
Yeah.
He was not painting it for something else or for people to like it. He was painting because he could visualize these scenes and he did it. And when he got more skill and more budget, he got more and more painters with him, monitored them while they painted what he wanted to be painted. So Vaisa, I think he created an entire Ramayana or something like that. Multiple things like that are there. But all of this ka basis and the mool root is what? That he could create something of his own and there was a particular style. Now everybody is going to make this image Raja Ravi Verma style in ChatGPT. So it's because someone had a personal style.
So you would say that an AI artist isn't an artist?
No. If you are going to make art by writing a prompt, you're not an artist. Let it be a hot take. If you just want God's image and you want ChatGPT to create it, by all means, nobody's stopping you. Go do it. Don't call yourself an artist. That's all I care about. Like, if you're not creating it from scratch, don't call yourself an artist. This is not video editing. You're not creating assets. You're not creating 3D something. It's just a paper on a pen.
First of all, I think we've come to a point in AI perception where this is no longer a hot take.
Yeah.
This is a lukewarm take at best.
We can't do art, so we are using AI and calling ourselves artists. How about you pick up a pen?
I think Seth Rogen said something similar about people who call themselves AI
Writers, that makes
he
no
said that
sense.
if you're using AI to write, stop writing and do something else because you're not a writer.
That's
And
all.
that also could offend a lot of people, but I am hard pressed to find the wrong word in this particular statement here, and I did not think I would agree with Seth Rogen. But he has got some good shows.
That becomes the problem, right? Here, that people want to call themselves artists, but you acquire no skill from childhood. I have multiple reasons. I'm not saying it's your fault. Maybe you did not have the skill for it. Maybe you did not have the time to pick up the skill. Maybe your parents did not allow you to do it.
Yeah.
There might be multiple things. Now, if you ask me how you became good as an artist, God only knows. I just
You're
kept
like,
doing
don't
it.
ask me.
It was not. It was not a perfection thing.
Yeah.
It was not a consistency thing. It was nothing. Maybe just God wanted me to paint some forms, and it was that.
Okay.
It is as simple as that. So, and I do feel like most art is like that though, because how much can you perfect? It's like people in reality shows. The more you want it, you'll never get it.
And I think by that logic, I don't think anyone would consider a Picasso or a Gustav Klimt or a Salvador Dali to be perfect. None of these things are really perfect.
Yeah. And once you know what you want to do, it's one thing for you to know what you want to do, and to train your skills, you use, let's say, AI or like a system engine or a course on YouTube. You're still learning so that you can create something of your own.
Yeah.
That's one thing. But not at the same time, you can't sit and make an entire comic. You can't sit and plagiarize someone's work. Because if you ask that person to commission and do it, I've talked to people whose commissions go till 1 lakh, 2 lakhs and all.
But like artists have to be able to make money. So like I don't think that people should be, a lot of these things will, oh my god, an artist will charge so much, ChatGPT will do it for free. First of all, that shit is not free.
Yeah.
Okay, using up all the drinking water that is available on the planet, bina pani ke, what are you planning to do?
Because until last year, if you're looking at these AI God videos that are there on YouTube, they're all trained using these sari models of Malabar
Oh,
and all these things, like women how they wear
how
sari
they
and
wear
all.
the sari, yeah.
And then the Indianist faces for AI was the East Asian faces. So it was like anime 3D with Indian sari. That is
Saris.
how gods used to look.
Huh.
Until last
With
year
with
also.
the AI generated
And
videos.
more people started generating their own personal Indian art, and they started uploading it everywhere. And AI search engines, they just get a claim apparently on everything. So they just take it. So there is a thing, like there is an artist called Bapu in Telugu. He's a famous
yeah, I know.
film director,
An
artist, and there is-
storyboarding.
yeah,
Huh.
like they're revolutionary storyboarding for Telugu people at least.
Yeah.
So this man he knows what storyboarding is, and then he created his own style of storyboarding
Yeah.
for his films. So this man is no longer there. His art is there, but the thing is, there are so many people urging, like, don't upload Bapu's art on ChatGPT
digital
or Gemini.
formats, yeah.
No, on ChatGPT, on Gemini, or any AI engines. That's all.
Okay.
If you want prints, get it from us. There are multiple people who are there. If you just want an image, it's there on Google. Download it. Don't feed it to AI and start making new things. And to a level, these people, every other day I get like posts saying, like, begging to not feed some particular style to AI,
I mean,
because
we've
it'll start
already-
creating it.
Because we already lost the battle with Studio Ghibli, because
Yeah.
the amount of people who took the images from the movies, which is a person's labor of art and love.
How hard is it to just feed an engine an entire movie? That is how they are making animations. No, AI animations is happening like that only. AI comic, it can create a comic
that's why
for
it
you.
looks like such a slop fest, where every time that there is a frame that is very clearly AI generated. First of all, they keep insisting that we won't be able to tell, but I feel like it still hasn't perfected for like extremely long length. So it's like if it goes beyond a minute, you can tell that this was AI generated.
That is one thing, and the second thing is image. Like, that's videos we're still
Yeah.
going forward to. Images only, you see. God images. Let's say one of my one of the pages I follow on Instagram.
Yeah.
This guy called Swaroop something. I'll tag it there. It's amazing work he does. So what he does is he started putting pura, like a mesh watermark.
Oh.
And because this person particularly goes into, he has friends also, I guess. So they go into Mantrashastra, they form particular Devis. So Varnamala mein every akshar has a Devika form for it. Now, which you have to go into some very specific, deep-rooted books to find out that thing, and then you still have to imagine and create a form. The skin color, the hand, number of hands, the things that they are holding.
Yeah.
These things, they are just feeding it to AI. and in four hands, mein 2 hands don't have fingers.
Oh.
The thing, it's supposed to be a trident or something.
AI hates fingers. It just can't do it.
AI knows nothing, and you're trying to feed it so that you can upload.
Yeah.
Because there's so many. There's another artist called Premwal. One of the artists that I follow on Instagram. He only does black and white. He doesn't do color.
Okay.
People in Maharashtra are taking his images
and putting color.
Yeah, feeding it to AI, making them color it, and then uploading, saying it's their work. Their work is even worse. Or like their work is also still fine, right? You can just go into the comments saying, this is not your work, this is my work, go follow my page. That's easier. But when it's just these faceless god profiles
pages, yeah.
with 50,000, 1 lakh, 2 million followers,
Yeah.
because who will not like a god picture?
Yeah.
Like in this country. And now that all of our parents also entered Instagram. Who
There's
will
actually a
not?
big market for them to cater to.
And even then, Instagram page is still less. It's more on Facebook. So most Instagram artists don't even know what's happening on Facebook, and their artwork has been plagiarized left, right, and center.
And this is fully shifting the burden on the artist that you protect your work through whatever watermark or put a mesh or post it on Patreon or have a limited community or find a different platform. It's so crazy because people are looking for an audience and they might want to go to the most populated social media site in the world, which is Instagram, over 5 billion plus downloads. But at the same time, your work will get plagiarized. The platform won't do shit about it. And I don't care if we get caught criticizing some of the big names here, because it's like, if a human being isn't a human being to you and it's just a number, then like you shouldn't be upset when the so-called number fights back.
Drops, falls
and the
down.
number drops, which is why I think this is just an aside, because this is just a thing that I like a lot. A lot of people with the the detoxing and the dopamine detox and the go offline movement, and I don't know how much how ironic it would be to say that I really like the idea of like being offline or keeping your art or your writing even offline, or at least away from the more these the slop platforms now.
But that is where the problem arises, right?
Yeah.
It becomes sad. Like, what good is me with my 4 sketchbooks if nobody knows?
And that's sad. I think that's something that I think Ben Affleck also said when they were like, do you like fame? And then he said that I understand the utility of it, because nobody wants to become an actor, but you're such a small time actor and you're so niche that you play to empty theaters, and that when you go to perform on stage in a theater, that room is also empty, 4 people sitting here and there. That's not fun for an artist. You don't feel satisfied because people are not witnessing your work. Because on one hand, you want people to witness your work. On the other hand, the things that you're expected to do, which is why I asked you about Instagram and the algorithm, the stuff that you're supposed to do to please the algorithm so that 4 more people or 8 more people witness your work, that's kind of dehumanizing and soul-sucking in and of itself.
There are artists who I follow on Instagram who do huge painting. Let's say I personally do it in A3. A lot of my friends do it in A4. A2 is a very bad size. Most people don't do it. But it's like half of a chart.
Yeah.
So the people I follow, they do it in almost A2 or A1, like this, like ye big. So for them, it's easier to document their process for months together.
Okay.
So they can maintain a presence. They don't have to shoot every day also. Let's say they are painting for
because
4 hours on one day.
Because they're drawing on the same canvas.
They're drawing on the same canvas, the same project. So one of the artists I was following was doing Durga Puja ka, huge, the pandal wala setting, they were doing a huge thing with all the god super and all the people who are there and all. For one character ka one part also, they were doing multiple reels.
Yeah.
So it went on for a while. And for an artist like that, it's easier.
Yeah.
But most artists are like me. Lack of attention span.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. And lack of attention span, lack of confidence, lack of skill, let's say, and lack of a lot of things. No, for you to do it, most people, it has become like food, right? Most people go to places for them to be Instagrammable. You take a picture of the food that you're going to eat.
No,
then you post it.
Aestheticism of it. So if a genie appeared, which was secretly...
You think I'd ask art shit?
No, you can't ask for people, that they've had
People, money, countries.
people, money, country. No, you can't ask for any of that. If a genie appeared and the genie said, "What? Why am I they? Why am I non-binarying the genie?"
Because genie is not a man, not a woman.
Oh my God, yes. I always think of Aladdin's genie, who is a man.
I can only remember Will Smith now.
Okay, yeah. also a man. But
Yeah.
okay, so, but the genie was secretly the devil, and the devil was like, I can give you, what would you like to sell your soul for? Because I could give you either more talent
Hmm.
as an artist, or more fame as an artist, or more money as an artist, or he'll give you chips. Okay. What amongst these would you sell your soul for? And you have to sell.
More fame.
Oh wow.
Yeah, as simple as that. Fame used correctly can get you all the other ones.
Money and talent.
Yeah, as talent, I think I'm satiated with.
Oh wow. Look, it's a
I'm very unattached to the process. I
Huh.
like what I am doing, but I can always commission somebody else to do something else
okay.
if I want to see it.
All right. Okay. At least you're honest.
I mean, we are also in a situation where you have to like fall in front of your art and protect it before someone feeds it to ChatGPT. We live in those days now.
This is not a ChatGPT bashing episode. We'll do that.
We'll do that.
That's coming. We do that every day.
It's sad though, is it?
Yeah.
Like to become Raja Ravi Verma level, that you'll type some name in ChatGPT and it'll create something like that. What type of niche, what type of usko kya pehchan if you have to create, you have to go through so much. You have to go through so much as within yourself as an artist to come up with something which is something which only you particularly do. You need to come up with the process, you need to come up with the style, you need to come up with the type of story you tell. So much. And then also, it's not sure if you're going to be a famous one or not.
But say anyone who's attempting for fame as an artist.
Like fame, for it to become renewable.
But Raja Ravi Verma is only one artist that we know. And times then also, one could argue that they were difficult in an entirely different way.
Yeah.
Where you have to, that disease could take you out at 18 before you ever discover art or philosophy or anything like that. Today, okay, things are very muddled, there's too much noise, but at least you have electricity, running water, jab tak hai, and all the avenue to discover your art, at least a little avenue to, hold a job, do it on the side. At that time, what if this is all you knew? Everything is to take hours together.
Yeah.
What, he's going to work in the field and then come home and make art? That's not happening. So
people still used to.
Some did, but again, how many we don't know of the ones who died in obscurity or died before they could even learn one.
That's also because job parity. Aajkal, you sign with a company, they own you. Back then, even slaves were not owned that much.
What? What the fuck?
No, I feel we have to dial down the hotness on these hot takes. I am not going to prison.
See, no, I'm not talking about the trauma part. Leave the trauma aside.
Yeah.
Even then, sun up to sundown was the work. Uske baad, technically.
Yeah, but if somebody has to, you understand that if somebody has to go fetch water before you can drink water and all, already your 24 hours are owned by the
survival.
Okay, so today it's not that, but that is another back and forth. Like, is it easier today to be an artist than it was 100 years ago?
That's a different thing. Even then, I think we have stronger villains where you will not even become what you want to be as an artist because revenue is coming in the second painting you post. That becomes the problem, right? Because when you're looking for validation, if it's people validation, you just see a crowd and done. But when the validation is in numbers, when it's on a platform, when it's on how many views you get and how you keep on the retention. Now, what is this artist supposed to think of? The retention on the paper of his own talent and mind, or the retention of people of the process or explaining or something like that. So many metrics have come into one very non-simple process where it has become, now doing all of that is already one headache which you have to subscribe to. It's like you do it for the love of it. It is extremely tiring. Any form of art is.
No, the thing that you're trying to, I think, get to is that before you become like an artist or even a good one, you're expected to be a damn good video creator, a damn good video editor.
And even then, it's very hard for you to go for video creator, that thing, let's say you have a little bit of passion, you'll do it. But to what end? So like this, you'll spend your entire time perfecting only because every other day a new course will show up on your feed. And this will keep, and all of that you go through also. Let's say you nail video techniques, you nail images, all of digital art, everything. Even then, if people are just going to stamp off your picture, feed it to AI and upload it, saying it's either their own or worse, upload it in a generic space where people will never notice it's yours because it's heavily altered and it loses the sense of it and the soul of it.
Yeah, but that burden shouldn't be placed like on the artist, that you should be able to, I understand you're like fall in front of your art and protect it with your life, but that burden cannot be because a person cannot go up against a system, a cluster of companies, all of the LLM models. We are no longer in a place where you and I are only just talking about ChatGPT or Grok.
But a person can go through this in their head, right? Like
this is
well,
what
we
keeps
don't.
artists
We are
up
not
at
talking
night.
to the companies. We're talking to the artists and the people who still consume art and are
Art.
still willing to consume art. Like you,
Everyone's willing to consume art. It's just that they do not know the origins of how it came to them in the first place, which is what.
and they like getting things unpaid.
It is a function of all human beings.
Yeah.
We'd like things for cheaper. We'd like things more conveniently. But it shouldn't be up to people that when they consume art, now they've suddenly committed some highly unethical crime by consuming plagiarized content, because that was not their intention in the first place.
Plagiarized content. You should not be putting people on the. You should not be suli chadawing the people.
No.
It should be the person who is stealing it.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Instagram also has always been free. The platform has always been free. So it's not like people were not looking at authentically made art for free and falling in love with artists for real for free and becoming fans of them. Now we've gone, like we saw the whole heated rivalry fan craze, that there are tons of artists that we've discovered just because they're so good at being able to draw stuff from the show and inspired by it. And they're all people. In fact, they've got a pretty strict no AI policy.
That is where it is. I think it is as simple as heated rivalry ke liye, you retain the character and you have fun with it. That is one thing. Plagiarism is just snapping it and slipping it on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's way worse.
Also, when people are making fan art, it's also very clear that they do not get to make money off of it. It's very clear.
Like how I mentioned Bapu, there are so many Telugu artists. For all of them, even me at some point, has made a Bapu style art.
Bapu inspired art.
It's like someday a painter is learning, he'll make a Raja Ravi Verma inspired painting. Inspired is one thing. Trying to imitate it is also one thing, because it's heavily patronized. Then you will love to do it. You would want to do it. That is heavily encouraged. Do it. It's fine. If you want to imitate something, imitate it. Become as good also. It's fine. Because
making replicas is a full-blown, again, a sort of an industry that is your original replica, so to speak.
Prints are already replicas.
So, like,
there are two types of artists who commission what they want. That is what, right? The artists have come down to a level where they have to paint someone's grandmother, someone's mother, someone's boyfriend, girlfriend, commission ke liye, paison ke liye. This has what it has become. Where are these artists? Portrait artists, you are fine, great. But these artists are not even being allowed to grow past this, because that is the only thing which is feeding your stomach.
I think the level at which art stops because this is the only thing that generates money.
Again, art has to serve humans. It is falling down to. I completely from the bottom of my heart believe that it has to be the opposite, because art is a form of expression and humans express. That is what makes a human different from the other human. The personality, the individuality and all of that. Face and all will keep changing. Tomorrow morning I can get a plastic surgery and look like you. Or I can do some graphics. But what makes you and what makes me is expressed only through art.
Internal, yeah.
It is expressed through art. And not everybody is blessed to be an artist. And now we are particularly kicking the people who can express in their stomachs. And saying you have to do these things or your thing will be lost.
Yeah, I mean, one could argue that it's always been difficult for artists. But now we've got all these very unfathomable forces, and for some reason governments will like to get into like everything. They have zilch to say about this. Nothing. I think you've seen there were some comparisons that before for plagiarism, like for uploading pirated videos or pirated movies or pirated textbooks, actually, that people have gone to jail. There have been millions of dollars of fines put on them. Now you can just take all this material and shove it into an LLM machine to be able to generate more plagiarized content, and nobody's going to prison for it.
And they can say it is not plagiarized because it has different strokes. Because it was not made here.
The data sets very clearly are not about what the output is, but what the input is all plagiarized content, because there's a license involved and they were not taken, permission was not taken before using that. Despite those things, the companies cannot be held accountable, and nobody wants to send them to prison, because this is now the AI bubble, so to speak. Everybody, all governments and all companies are involved in this. So they are like, let's just ignore the wrongdoing happening here, because who knows, this bubble could actually make us trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, it's not.
What is it? You're just going to, you think people are not going to get bored of this? How fast did people get bored of the Studio Ghibli thing, and how fast did they get bored of the Raja Ravi Verma?
Remember when I came back from my hometown, I bought this big packet of sweets and I was like, oh, it's because I came back, I was missing you guys.
Yeah.
No, it's because Sora shut down.
Yeah.
The sweets were because Sora shut
as
down. And I think it was so cathartic because it was running for 6 months only.
Yeah.
I think last 3 months of 2025 and the first 3 months of 2026, and then that damn website shut down, and they were like, oh, we are redirecting to other things. I'm like, I know what you're redirecting to. You don't even have money to run ChatGPT. That's why Sora shut down. It was the greatest moment of this year so far.
Well, let's pray a lot of other things also get shut down.
Okay, so we digressed. You hate AI. I gave you. I put gasoline on the fire.
I don't particularly hate AI because a lot of now at this point it has become a situation that you have to use AI for research because you will not find the books, you will not find the resources. The library has become better. AI does have its upside as long as it's
upside.
which is data retention and collection. That's all. And I do feel like when it comes to art, and it's like replacing AI with your girlfriend, like replacing your girlfriend with AI. It's like replacing your mother with AI, right? That is exactly what you're doing when you're replacing an artist with AI. You're just going to get a semblance of whatever it is, but you're not going to get the actual
real thing.
You're not going to get the anecdotes. You're not going to get the love. You're not going to get anything. What good is a plagiarized spirit?
You know, there is a thing in the SW industry which is called the girlfriend experience.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it at that.
You're all becoming Hans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So finally, after you've completed a painting, like you're done with it, what is the feeling that you're left with? Because I wanna capture the satisfaction of an artist through your experience a little bit here.
See, most of the times it's because I do intricate, delicate work. Most of the times it's like, I love this.
Yeah.
I've worked the entire day for it or something. I can't work for longer than that. And then I'm like, okay, this is exactly what I wanted to see. If not, what I do throughout the process is it's because it's not a machine doing it, it's me doing it. So if I'm thinking something is not going on that particular way, I'll change the story.
Okay.
I'll change what I want on the paper. Some days I cannot just get the ice right. Some days I cannot just get some particular form of fabric right or something like that. This happens. It's very human.
Yeah.
Even then, once it's done, it's also the satisfaction, right? It's the satisfaction that you finished something.
Yeah.
It's satisfaction that you've made something which probably many people will not be able to make or will not want to make. Or it is there somewhere outside also, but this is yours. This is what you made. That is the most, I do feel like that is the most comforting, the most human feeling that you can feel, that you've created something by yourself. You don't have to have children for this. You just have to create art, that you've made something which is completely your own, but also at the same time it's giving to the world. It's your gift to the world. A person who has just took a fine pan on the paper and called it a Prada painting, or a person who has labored for 45 hours, I do feel like both people still feel the same when they see their art on the display. It is as simple as that.
Yeah. I mean, I think I understand, because like Van Gogh was severely mentally disturbed, but every time he would finish, I think, an artwork, and in the letters that he wrote to his brother, Theo Van Gogh, he has spoken a little bit about how he was feeling, how he feels in the interim in between paintings, when he's stressing about money and recognition, etc., etc. This is how he feels once his paintings are completed. And a lot of his paintings, despite his very dire personal circumstances, actually have very hopeful imagery around them. Sunflowers, yellow lighting, sky, rolling hills, etc. So I think for an artist, seeing their creation out there is a
massively important.
Is an upper.
Yeah, it's an upper. Definitely, it's an upper. And
so I'll take your uppers and throw it in the dustbin.
Yeah. And I would also categorize, there are like 2-3 types of artists also in the scenario, where someone is happy just doing it. Someone is happy waiting for the end part to look at the end one. I am one of those. It also depends on what sort of mental issues you have.
Finished product.
I think the finished product. Some people are happy. And some people are happy with external validation of people looking at it.
People looking at their art.
All of them are artists. All of these are processes. And all these 3 things give us 3 different types of art, I would say. And 3 different...
Or 3 different stages of joy.
Stages of joy, yeah.
Because,
for the person looking also.
Yeah, for the person looking also. And that is a third feedback that you would like to receive. It's not like all external validation is, indicative of the fact that you're not deriving joy in and of itself from the art. You are. But then there is a third joy, because nobody wants their paintings languishing in a basement, metaphorically.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Kaundi.
Yes, I am an artist. I suck way less shit than you.
You had the questions before me, and I went so gentle on you. You literally were like, I didn't ask you this. I didn't ask you this. Do you know how many times you digressed?
I know.
This is an award for digressing.
I mean, see,
That is what it would be.
one of these episodes, I will take you through my process
Hmm.
and teach you how to art. And you know what? Meanwhile, if you want to art, take a paper, take a pencil. Don't type. Bye.
Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. You're threatening the viewers.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Use a pencil. Use your brain.